In FrameMaker, it is very easy to make up new paragraph styles and add them to the catalog, as we've seen in previous demonstrations. What I'm going to do today is to actually open up the paragraph catalog. It can be collapsed like this, and we're going to find out how you can actually update the definition of more than one paragraph at a time. In today's demonstration, our goal is that we want to change three different headings. This is heading 1, this is heading 3, and this is heading 2. And I'd like to change all three of these, but what I don't want to have to do is to have my paragraph designer and then change one and then change another and then change another. So I'm going to show you a quick and simple method of changing multiple paragraphs in one step. And this is particularly useful for headlines or something that's related, or perhaps you might have three different kinds of bulleted lists and you want them all to have the same prefix. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and quickly tag these. I'm going to make this a heading 2, so I'm just going to type in a sample heading 2 here. Okay, and then I'm going to follow that by a heading 3. And I'm going to go ahead and just click on heading 3 and say this is a heading 3. And actually I have a fourth paragraph I could change, which is a heading 3A. I'll just say this is a heading 3A. Okay, now all of these paragraphs are fairly similar. They all happen to be black, and I might decide that I want here's a heading, and here's a heading. And by the way, for those of you that might be new to FrameMaker, this is what's called a side head or a side heading. And if I were to change this to a body paragraph, notice that it jumps over into the column with the body, or I can change it back to a heading 2, and it automatically positions itself out in this column. So how do we change them all at one time? Very simple. First of all, you simply drag select through the consecutive paragraphs that you want to change. So the only trick here is that the paragraphs have to be next to each other. So you can create what I just did. You create temporary instances of the paragraphs that you want to update. Now, since I've dragged through 4 paragraphs, I'm going to go over here to the paragraph designer. Notice in the paragraph designer that there's no name for the paragraph tag here, and also notice that I've got as is settings, and a couple of my values have like a blue button in front of it, like underline. That means that's a mixed value. Some are underlined and some aren't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make every one of these paragraphs be 14 point. I'm going to decide that I want all of them to be bold and italic. So I want them all to change that. And in addition, I'm going to change their color. And just to make it dramatic so you can't miss what I've done, I'm going to make them all red. Finally, I'm going to make one more change, and that is that I'm going to make all of them be changed to uppercase. Okay, so that's pretty dramatic. Now the final step is to click on Update All. And when you click on Update All, a little window pops up. And FrameMaker is so intelligent that it's asking me would I like to take only the default font properties, and would I like to apply those just to the paragraph tags that are in the selection. I'm going to say yes, update. Ta-da. And as you can see, it's done. Not only has it updated the temporary paragraphs that I created here and here and here, but if we scroll further down, we can see that it's actually changed the paragraphs everywhere. All of these headings have all turned into bold, italic, and red. And they could be different point sizes. So for instance, if we decided to go in and individually change this paragraph back to 11 point, for instance, and I'll do an update on that. And let's say that we wanted heading 3 to be maybe 12 point. Just a little bit smaller. Okay. Notice something very subtle. If you look here at heading 3A, notice that that's a serif typeface. It's actually called Cambria, but notice that all of the others were Calibri. So the font didn't change because the font was set to as is, because that was a mixed value. So we'll do this. I'll do one last change, and then we'll be through with our operation. I'm just going to go through here, and the only thing that I'm going to do is I've decided that I don't want this to be uppercase. And the way that I do that is I simply change it to a white box like that. Go down and do Update All. Once again, apply it, and notice that my uppercase value has gone away. So it's just that simple. With those easy steps, I've actually updated 4 paragraphs. Now, what is the final step? The final step is, remember that I created temporary paragraphs just to put them next to each other. So all you have to do is delete those paragraphs, and now my document is actually back to normal. So if I were to make this a little bit smaller, like this, you can see that I have several instances of these red paragraphs. So it's just that simple to change multiple paragraphs in one instance with the paragraph designer in FrameMaker and save several steps over what you might have done in Microsoft Word. This concludes our brief demonstration.